Free.
Hi.
Hello.
We're with Vasta from the World Bank. From the World Bank. That's not the local bank. It's the World Bank.
Yeah, it's a little big.
It's a little big. Thank you so much for joining us. We just want to know, first and foremost, why the World Bank chose this social media conference. I mean, there are hundreds of others. We know that you have a big social media program. Why Corporate Social Media Summit?
Well, I mean, we try and get out to a lot. I mean,
Okay.
we're at South by Southwest and various other ones. But this one's important because you're really dealing with people who are at the forefront of their organizations, who are dealing with corporate executives, more strategy and policy. And a lot of the work we're doing is in the strategic realm. It's in the policy, working with employees, rather than just the tactical stuff.
Right.
And we find that some other conferences are really like, how do you make a great Facebook page, whereas this is how do you get your company to the point to be able to do these kinds of things. And that's a lot of what the work we've done, and that's why we chose to be here.
I can see. So, can you talk to us a little bit about the World Bank? I mean, I don't even know how to phrase this. The World Bank, you have people who love you, and then you have people who don't love you. Yes, you're the enemy sometimes, and sometimes you're the savior.
That's right.
How exactly are you going about strategically creating a social media program that embraces and addresses all of that?
Well, I think one of the things that we're focusing on is trying to figure out how we're adding value rather than trying to win people over. It's all about value, and we're thinking, how is our research helping our mission of ending poverty? How is our projects helping that? How can we demonstrate results to people to show what our projects really are? And in the meantime, if we win a few fans, that's great. But the focus again is not this PR focus where it's this is what the bank's doing, love us for it. It's very much like, this is what we're doing, here's why we're doing it, and here are the people doing it too. We really want to focus on the people doing the work rather than again the voice of the bank. It's the many voices at the World Bank who make the bank what it is. So.
And so, in terms of the tweets and the comments that are coming to you from people, I mean, they I guess tend to be very passionate.
Oh yeah, very much.
Yeah.
And there's some places where you feel like you have to respond, especially when you're dealing with cases of misinformation. And sometimes people just want to vent. People want to get it off their chest, and you have to give them that space as well. But it's also important to recognize when there's a problem and you want to fix it. For example, a few months ago, Hans Rosling came out and said the World Bank has a ton of data and it doesn't give it away for free, and that's horrible. And instead of saying, oh no, this is what we're doing, we said, actually you're right.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And just a month ago, a little over a month ago, we released all our data open to the public.
Wow.
And it's not just because of him. There are some things internally, but it's important to recognize that your critics are also the people you can learn from as well.
That's a good point. And how hard was it to get that to get to the point where you released that data? I mean, it's like opening your diary. How did the world?
Let's say I lost a lot of sleep. No, I mean, again, it's all about making sure your institution understands the value it's creating with the work it does. And if you can show that we're going to, if our mission is to end poverty, is to fight poverty, if we can show that releasing this is going to help us fight poverty and help other people fight poverty, not just us, that's important, because again, we're not going to do it alone. We need everyone to be on this on our mission.
Okay, and one more question: how do you have Twitter, Facebook, your account?
We have everything.
You have everything. I suggest everyone follow you everywhere because you are the world.
But I mean, it's also important to remember it's not corporately owned. A lot of this is like a unit or a country or a project lead that has their own accounts. So you'll find our publications has a Facebook page. Our Africa region has a great blog by an economist. But we also have little task team leaders who do project updates on Twitter saying, I'm working on a school project, here's what I'm doing, help me do this better. So it's really about having those voices and not this corporate controlled Twitter account, Facebook account.
Okay, great. Okay, and if thank you so much for coming to the summit. It's been great. If you could see one thing coming out of the Corporate Social Media Summit 2010 for the industry as a whole, meaning corporations, what would that be?
Put me on the spot with a big question.
Big question.
Hey.
Big question.
I thought I'd go Katie Couric.
I think if I had one big thing is that I want people to understand that it's okay to be wrong. And I know I said in my panel quite a bit. It's that we're only going to learn if we make mistakes along the way. And I think right now in the corporate culture, it's very much, can't admit you're wrong or you'll look bad. Now I want to get to the point where if we make a mistake, we learn from them and we admit that we made the mistake. And hopefully, I mean, I see that's coming soon, and
we'll get there.
We'll get there soon enough.
Well, until then, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it.